It's our final game here, the Day of Champions, day number 1, and it is minor junior provincial championship up for grabs in this all-city matchup, the Halifax Hawks versus the Dartmouth Whalers. As we say good evening to you from the Credit Union Community Center here in Toronto, Nova Scotia. Dan Hobson along for the call, as well as Neil Gordon, who's here. He'll be doing the camera work for this one. Both these teams probably no stranger to each other. It's being crosstown rivals. You think of Halifax, Dartmouth, major midget hockey, of course, the Subarus and the Halifax Max going at it. Major Bantam, of course. Also, too, the Hawks in that one. And the Dartmouth Whalers. So this one has a little bit of a minor junior feel to it, and that's what it is. Between Halifax and Dartmouth. Here at the Community Credit Union Arena here in Truro. Benjamin Poulin is the starting goaltender there for the Whalers. And Nick Daw, the starting goaltender there for the Halifax Hawks. Interesting story about Nick Daw. He actually played for the Halifax T10 Major Midget and the South Shore Mustangs Major Midget. Major Midget Hockey League All-Star. We're just at the provincial championships or Atlantics last weekend there in Lance. He was drafted by the Chicoutimi Saguenayes. And he will get the start here in between the pipes. There, Logan Elliott is the backup goaltender. Referee at center ice ready to get things started. And the puck is dropped. We're underway. O'Connor now will flip a pass there. A little bit too far out of the reach of Coolin. Stevens was waiting there for the pass, and in the meantime, the Hawks there closed in on that one. Might have been tipped in there by Stevens. He'll go in after it, but Daw will come out and will play it towards the side boards here. There's a collision there as Aaron Alexander. He's hoping maybe to pot some goals here in this one here for Halifax. And on the rush here is O'Connor. Alexander O'Connor as we just passed the 30-second mark here, the opening frame. Halifax on the doorstep, Preston scores! Just like that, tick-tack and toe. 38 seconds in. Halifax strikes early, 1-0. They kind of left goaltender Poulin out to dry on that one. Little backhander, and 38 seconds in, Halifax Hawks have a 1-0 lead. And now here they are striking in gold. Once again, Graves going in. And snuffed out there by the Whalers. And on the attack here is Brandon Ritchie now. Ritchie driving. Coolin gets the goal, so it makes it 1-0. Alexander O'Connor getting an assist. And Aaron Alexander gets an assist there on that one, so not quite the goal he's looking for. There's a shot, and unsure of it was Benjamin Poulin, but he had it all along and makes a stop. A minute and 16 gone here in this opening frame, and it didn't take long for Poulin and the Hawks to draw early blood, of course, and get things going there in terms of getting there close to their hands on a championship. Still definitely lots left to go. As a shot there from well out. Daw doesn't have to handle that one. Whalers in the white and the Hawks in the black, and that hops over Pelly Compton's stick, and back comes the other way is Graves now. Graves going wide there on Fahey. Tried the center, second chance, there's a shot there, and going down and trying to stack the pads there was Poulin on the shot there by G. Antonio, and he missed the net. G. Antonio, number 20, keep an eye on him. As they come to the far side boards there, Michael McKenzie there to center ice. Tried to kick it up to his stick. Couldn't play it on the delayed offside, so the Whalers keep it out. Fahey will send it back. Roswell knocked down, and that will allow the Whalers to make a little bit of a complete change here with 12:40 left to go. Trying to spin away is Nolan Healy there for the Hawks. picking his pocket with Stevens there. Centers, but nobody can get their stick on it there for the Whalers. And a nice work there by Joshua Stevens, number 13 in the white jersey. Halifax Hawks, regular season. Played 21 games, 4 wins and 13 losses. They finished 7th out of the 8 teams in the Metro Minor Hockey League. But they defeated the Whalers 4-2 in the MMHL. In the playoffs, they finished 2nd of 8 teams with 4 wins and 1 loss. So it's maybe the regular season, nothing really to write home about there for the Hawks, but the second half of it in the playoffs and where it all matters, they turned it on. They're almost just like some of those major midget hockey league teams. The regular season, lean back, maybe middle of the pack, and then when things get to playoff time, turn it up a notch, and that's the case here. Aaron Alexander. As I said, he's thinking he may be able to get 3 goals in it. I got a note from him here just before the start of this game. And it says that he's got some shout-outs there. So if you're a family member or a friend here of Aaron Alexander, you may want to stay tuned. See if you get mentioned in the shootout, as that's cleared by the Whalers and down. And back to get it here is Noah Hopkins. And he's got a little burst of speed, and he's getting the center ice, getting his jets going. Hopkins going in, end-to-end, and a backhand stop. And a backhander is stopped by Poulin. 10:45 left to go as the Whalers try to settle it down. And they'll get it out the center ice area. The pass was a little bit too far out of the reach. So hopping over the boards is Michael Smith as well as Michael McKenzie. Pelly Compton out there as well. Icing the call here on this one. 4.5 gone here in the opening period. Clean face-off win by the Whalers, but trying to kick it up was Pelly Compton, and it ended up going right by them, and they'll have to go retreat it from their own zone. And back on the attack they are with Michael Smith now. Sent towards the corner. McKenzie looking for it there for the Whalers, but it will be the Hawks, and they'll start their own breakout here. Up center ice, Ben Metzler. Graves again. Graves goes wide on Walsh. Centers it. Tried to. It actually hit the back of the net. Does come out front. A couple of whacks. Scores! Tight defense. I don't think so there for Dartmouth. They were allowed to pretty well walk out front willy-nilly. And Graves gets the goal. 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Here the first. And it makes it 2-0. Of course, we'll get the official clarification, but it looked like it was Graves that kept on whacking. There's a backhander that Daw has to make a save on there, and Walsh. Alex Graves did get the goal, so. And no assist on that one as he pretty well came from around the net. There's a shot there. It handcuffs Daw. Unable to make the catch, but goes in behind the net, so it's not really too much of a dangerous scoring chance yet. There's a little player falling down there. McKenzie on a trip. It says, ref says no penalty there, so let's continue on. It looked like it here from the vantage point, but I'm not the one that's ice level, and I'm not the one with the certification, so play will continue on as we come up to the 6-minute mark here, and seems like the Hawks know something that we don't because they're now just keep crashing towards the net of Poulin. Try to get it up there to Fitzgerald. 8:53 left to go as it's back out center ice area. Here come the Whalers now, led by McKenzie with a shot. Daw looking for it. And as he was looking for it, it bounced in the blue ice and it's cleared by the Hawks as they bail their goaltender out. Daw a little shaky on a couple of shots here. As play is blown down, a penalty coming up, a tripping call here. 6:24 here in the first period. Our first penalty of the game. And it's going to go to Mark Chassie. I have to think he's some sort of relation to Blake Chassie here, who played for the Gulls in Major Bantam. He's going to go to the box 2 or less for the trip. So there's our first power play here for the Whalers. Chance here to try to bring this down to a 1-goal game here in the first PP of the night. They center it there, but nobody's there. Fahey, wrist shot. It actually hits a couple bodies, but it got right to the stick there, Stevens, but he's unable to pull the trigger. In the meantime, Hawks sent it down the ice. Coming up to 8 minutes to go here in the opening period. Keith Webb. Ritchie now getting going on his opposite wing here. Minute 25 left and the penalty to Chassie. There's a shot that hits a stick. Chassie called for the trip, as I say. 1:12 left to go. Whalers kept to the outside pretty much here by the Hawks here on this PP. The power play and a chance here for Healy to clear. Takes a funny bounce, but they're going to be A-okay and survive that. In the meantime, it's dumped back in by the Whalers. And they're up there looking for it once again. Referee telling them to move it, so they're going to have to move it. Stevens, there's a wrist shot. As he set up Keith Webb, as Stevens ended up freeing that puck, and Webb got the shot. And Daw made his best save so far tonight as he stops that one with 39 seconds left in the Chassie penalty. Tanner Fitzgerald here on the face-off here for the Whalers, and taking it there was Coolin there for the Hawks. Hawks win it and send it down the ice. And Poulin will come out and play it. He'll go high to the glass there. Redmond, tape to tape. And now they'll drop the pass back. Fitzgerald, unable to pull the trigger. Slapped by Redmond, doesn't get through. Fitzgerald, backhander. Daw get the piece. 6:48 left. Penalty winding down here to Chassie. Redmond again. Tees it up, and Daw has it. 5 seconds left in the Chassie penalty. 6:41 left to go in the period. So it looks like the Whalers get about 2 shots here on this power play, and nothing really much dangerous, as the penalty to Chassie has been served. So Hawks even strength. 6:30 left to go. Burst and speed is Coolin, and that's going to be called on the offside, and he puts it into the net, and that gets a little bit of a reaction here from some of the people here at the Community Credit Union Arena. Of course, shooting the puck at a goaltender and putting the puck in a net, kind of the two no-nos in hockey, but nothing really has resulted in terms of emotions going high yet. Just the early going with 6:20 left to go in the first. Chassie out here. Mark Chassie trying to squeeze by. Looking for a return pass. The skate was actually caught in one of the Whalers players, Fitzgerald. Trying to be cleared there by McKenzie. He was looking for the loose puck, and it was behind him. He was going off to the races, but it bounced too high and was behind him and allowed the Hawks to send it in, but they were on their side of center, so they've iced the puck here with 5:59 left to go in the first period. Keith Webb will take this draw here against Alex Graves for the Hawks. Bouncing puck once again. High slot Stevens there spinning and fire. Hits shin guards. He gets a second chance. Doc gets his glove on that one. Stevens driving towards the net. The pass doesn't go through, and it's cleared by the Hawks and down. Goes through the blue ice, and Hawks lucky there. There was a couple chances. Stevens right there. And almost got one there for them. 7-6 the shots so far in favor of the Halifax Hawks. There's a shot from well out. That's stopped by Daw. Roswell with that 55-footer there. Once again, Stevens right on the doorstep, unable to connect. Here come the Hawks now. They'll break 4 wide, led by Campbell Cousins. He'll go in after it. And following up is Healy. Healy now with the puck there for the Hawks. Back to Alexander. Alexander came up in the high slot, has his pocket picked by the Whalers. Long lead pass up ahead for Stevens. He might have got a piece of it there. Prevented the icing, but able to get a good breakaway chance from inside the blue line there for the Whalers. There's a little bit of a collision there as Webb hits his man. It looks like it's O'Connor. And he's favoring his leg there as he's trying to shake that off to his little Taylor Swift impression. 4:45 left to go here in the opening period. Hawks pressing once again. Stevens waits for it. Now is off to the races. Here's a 2-on-1. He's got Smith with him. Stevens a shot and a blocker save by Daw. Stevens been a force here so far for the Whalers in this period, but nothing to show yet. 4:26 left. O'Connor dangling along the line, looking for some room. Cuts towards the net. There gets a wrist shot, and Poulin was looking for it. Some of the players thought it might have hit the netting, but it stayed in play, so play continues on. Meantime, nice little dangles there by Alexander O'Connor. Did everything but got a shot on goal. Stevens now plays it off the boards. He's at the end of his shift, so he's going to go off for a change. 8-7 now as the Whalers have found their game, leading in the shot category. Hopkins cuts down Main Street. Hopkins, and a stop by Poulin, and another stop by Poulin. Delahunt there. 2 big stops there by Poulin. 3:44 left to go. And now here he goes once again, Poulin there. Oh, and trying to freeze it was Poulin. He was unsuccessful. A penalty coming up here. As Poulin having a hard time. It's going to be a cross-checking penalty with 3:31 left to go here in the first period. And off to the box there is Zach Walsh for the Dartmouth Whalers. So this is the Hawks' first power play. Hawks' first power play. And out to take the draw here is Delahunt. Delahunt, what a season he had. Top scorer, 28 goals, 19 assists in the regular season here for the Halifax Hawks. Alex Alexander gets it towards the net. There it is, still in the blue ice. A couple of whacks there. Poulin holds his ground on that one. There's a turnover. They go one-timer on a little saucer pass over to Poulin, and he couldn't settle it down. Hawks still pressing with 3 to go here in the period. Poulin drop pass. There's Alexander with a shot. That's stopped by Poulin. He's a little bit out of position. He's diving around trying to do whatever he can to come up with the save there. Whaler player blows a tire. Oh, coming in there from the point there was Pekoski, Noah Pekoski, and he couldn't settle it down. Pekoski goes to the net once again now. Delahunt has his pocket picked. Chance to clear by the Whalers, and they do. Here is Michael McKenzie. Was maybe hoping for a shorthanded opportunity. It didn't come up. 57 seconds left, and the Walsh penalty. As Delahunt on the drive once again. And it's stuffed out. That hops over the glove of Chassis and back down, so he'll go retrieve it there. 45 seconds left in the Walsh penalty as they bring it up the center ice area. Nice little stick there, worked by Webb. Pokes it down. He ends up falling down on the play, gets back up, and gets the power play killing going here for the Whalers. Is sent down. And Hawks just want to change, so they'll dump the puck in, change it. 26 seconds, open ice, slapped down by the Whalers pretty easily. 20 seconds left in the Walsh penalty. 1:47 left to go in the period. Back come the Hawks there. Maybe one final dash here on the power play. Melnick. A drop pass. And they'll set up there for Parkhill. Couldn't pull the trigger. Chassis there. And that's blocked. As the penalty is over, here's a rink-wide pass. Here set up here. Walsh. Can he get a shot? Yes, he can. Gets a second chance. The net is off its moorings. He got 2 good chances. And then the net came off its pegs. All that because he was fresh out of the box and had a nice long lead pass to him. And he was just unable to cash it in. So we'll stay at a 2-goal game right now here for the Halifax Hawks. Slapped but kept along the boards there by Roswell, Josh Roswell, keeping it in. Long lead pass there for the Hawks as they were trying to get a breakout. They'll actually get it now. Here comes Graves there. There's a wrist shot there from outside there by Metzler. With a minute left to go, Whalers attacking once again. Stevens, solid period for him. Stevens now making a couple of nice moves. Stevens towards the middle, shot. Nice dangles, and then the wrist shot went wide. Been their best player here for the Whalers. Number 13 for them here in this first period, but unable to hit the net. Deflection there by Smith, and then it's stopped by Daw. Stevens once again pressing, and it's sent down the ice. Stevens trying to carry this team all by himself here. 32.7 seconds left to go here in the opening period. Alex Scrappy Graves with 9 points. Top in terms of getting penalty minutes there so far. Number 14 there in black. 54 penalty minutes this year. 20 seconds left to go. We'll get a chance to try to run down most of the information we can on these players here to you tonight. 10 seconds left. Stevens going to slap it from well out. It actually hits his shin, laid offside. The Whalers evacuate. 2 seconds left, and it gets by everybody and down the ice, and that's how this first period ends. So goals by Coolin and Graves, who we talked about. Maybe not who you really expect in terms of scoring, has got on the board here for the Halifax Hawks after the opening 15 minutes of play. 14-9 in favor of the Hawks, as the opening 15 has come to a close here at the Community Credit Union Arena here in Truro. So it's been a fantastic day here so far as we're wrapping up day number 1 of the Day of Champions here, presented by Hockey Nova Scotia and Bell TV 1. Delighted to bring them to you. And I can see why Aaron Alexander, who is tied for second in goals with this team in the regular season, 14 goals, 7 assists. Third highest score here. Brandel Coolin, 14-14, so not really much surprise that Coolin scored, but Graves, that could be a little bit of a surprise here as the teams have, just like that, switched ends, second period, seconds away. Here on Bell 5 TV 1, and it's the Minor Junior Provincial Championship Day of Champions here from beautiful Truro, Nova Scotia. Player slow to get up. That's G-Com Antonio there for the Hawks. In the meantime, it's play continues on and is blowing down, but G-Com Antonio was slow to get up, still trying to feel it there, bent over. You might see him there coming into this face-off circle. Seems to be okay. Is shaking it off. Wins that easily for the Hawks. 14. Well, the clock's not started once again here at the Community Credit Union Arena. A little bit of a delay in the clock, so see if they adjust the time. But it's not moving as play continues on, so we'll continue to monitor it and see if it gets going here. As the Whalers looking here, trying to get a breakout. Flipped out center ice area. And we'll go back down to the Hawk zone on the icing call. Scorekeeping area. So 1 second did come off now, so it's now 14:48 left. So there's probably maybe about 30 or 40 seconds of play and only 1 second come off the clock. You don't see that really in reality too much, but not going to be too much of a fuss put up here by the players. So plays back on, clock operating here in Truro once again. One-timer there as Coolin was trying to wheel and missed on that one. Just 30 seconds gone here in the second period, officially. Back along the wall here. Alexander there, backhander, but there's nobody in a black jersey available for that pass. In transition, Webb. Wrist shot that Daw got ready for and went wide of the net. Referee will blow it down. Face-off will stay inside the Hawk zone. 51 seconds gone here in the period. So a lot of whistles here to start this second period. 3 15-minute periods and an intermission between the second and the third period. Nice little move there. There's a wrist shot. Big juicy rebound right there for Webb, and unable to pull the trigger. Now the Hawks in transition. Nice move there by Aaron Alexander. He lost the puck before he could get a shot. Now he goes down on the play. The referee almost goes down as he was skating on his back heels. That's a little dangerous there. Almost lost his balance. Coolin. Alexander there with a one-timer that's stopped there by Poulin. And back out center ice it is. Hopkins. And they'll try to get it to Delahunt. Right there along the far side. And picking his pocket, Fitzgerald. Sends it to an open wing and down into the Hawk zone. Coming up to 2 minutes gone here in the second period as Hopkins will spin away from pressure. Pass up ahead. Put it right onto the stick of Graves. Graves follows up. Lost the biscuit. But still has the pressure here for the Hawks as he follows up. Trying to spin away. Delahunt now centers it and puts it right onto the stick here of Webb. And Webb breaks out with Stevens now. Stevens, wrist shot, scores! You knew it was only a matter of time here till Stevens was getting one. Was all over the ice, had his chances, and gets the Whalers on the board here, and it's 2-1. 2 minutes and 11 seconds here into the second period. He's got a howitzer of a shot here. And that fooled Daw. No answer. It blew by him. And that's a 2-1 game. And Whalers did really need that next goal. If it went the way of the Hawks, that would have been a big hill to climb. Stevens was calling for a penalty, but of course he doesn't have the certification like the Red Zebras have, so play will continue on. 2.5 gone here in the second period. Ritchie goes rink wide. Stevens once again. Wrist shot this time. Daw makes the stop with the glove and no rebound. Josh Stevens there, and he gets some appreciation here from the crowd. Webb with an assist, and it's 2-11. Daw had a little difficulty with that, and a little poke there by the Whaler player going by the net. And ended up being Ritchie, and Ritchie gets a little bit of a talking to from the Hawks, but nothing more, nothing major really going to result of that one there. 2:49 gone here in the second period. Coolin and Graves for Halifax. Stevens a couple seconds ago here for Whalers. Clean face-off win. McKenzie. And that doesn't get through, but guess who's got right now for the Whalers? Stevens there with another wrist shot. Get him set up there, and if he get a rebound, he'll pot it back real quickly as he was trying to be also there on the doorstep to create traffic. Slapped in, Pelly Compton. Stevens once again looking forward. Nice little play there by O'Connor there to elude the check. And now the Hawks break out on the attack. Campbell Cousins. Oh, and he got a run right along the ice there. Didn't miss by much there. 11:34 left to go. Teams go end-to-end here in Truro. Ritchie. Spinning away there is McKenzie now for the Whalers. Now he's looking for the return pass. Oh, it's for the feet of Stevens there. He's set up once again. He had a little bit of room, too. Healy now trying to get going. Campbell Cousins. Back to Healy. Here's Campbell Cousins there with a wrist shot as he got the return pass from Nolan Healy. 4 minutes gone here in the second period. Another penalty coming up here. It's going to the Hawks. Whalers goaltender off to the bench. There's a shot there. by McKenzie, missing. Another chance there. They're whacking once away in front of the net there as they continue to whack, and finally the play is stopped as Daw bends but don't break there. But the penalty come up here at 4:14 here of the second period, going to Nolan Healy. Check to the head, so it should be a 2-minute. But we'll, of course, wait for that. So Whalers once again here will try to get something going. Power play number 2 for them. Nothing so far. 0 for 1. Couple of shots on the first one. There's a fan there. That actually hit Coolin. And now the Whalers will just keep it alive. Walsh sends it in behind the net. Pekoski had a chance to clear there for the Hawks and couldn't. They'll get a second chance here by Coolin. Coolin eludes the referee and now will break out. Short-handed chance. They're not afraid to break out 3 wide, but this is what happens the other way. A 2-on-1. Here is Walsh. Walsh scores! Zach Walsh ties it at 2. 4:56 here of the second period. Power play goal. Consigned to see the eagerness there of Halifax as they were down a man and they sent 3 wide and they turned it over. That put a odd man rush the other way for the Whalers. And Walsh snuck it by Daw, ties it at 2 as we hit the 5-minute mark here. So that one's going to be a little bit of a head scratcher there to some hockey fans. This guy included. Here's a 3-on-1 here for the Hawks. Alexander, their shot that's stopped by Poole and leaves a big fat rebound. Lead pass up ahead there, too hot to handle for Webb. Aaron Alexander trying to spin now. Couple of nice moves, gets it into the Whalers zone. That turns the puck over. Here's the goal scorer, Walsh now. 2-on-2, he's got Smith with him and he's going to try to go once again, goes wide, backhander. Stopped by Daw. No look pass there by Smith, trying to center it in front, not to anybody in particular. Hawks will break out. Coolin trying to go to the net there is Hopkins. Looking for the pass. There's Alexander of a shot that's stopped by Poulin as he's starting to come up big here for the Whalers. 18-15 the shots. Make it 18-16 the shots there. They put another one up there for. It squeezes through, scores! Daw would like that one back. Whalers have their first lead thanks to the stick of Michael McKenzie. At 6:08, McKenzie makes it 3-2, and Daw thought he had it, and it went through. That's a tough one. So the Whalers who've put more pressure on now, and now they're looking for another one. Backhander, Stevens, stopped by Daw. He had to go over from post to post to come up with that one. And it was Stevens who got the first one there for the Whalers. So it's going to be Fitzgerald, pardon me. I really thought it was McKenzie, but they'll give it to Fitzgerald. And now O'Connor. Parkhill, shot there. That doesn't get through. Hawks now are, after being so ready for this game and off to the great start they are, now down by 1. And got to be a little bit of a shock here, and especially that third one. I mean, Daw will tell you, you should have had that one. Was thinking about playing it, and Stevens was right there. You can see them like talking back and forth there. Having a little bit of a chuckle here at the Community Credit Union Arena. You know, Daw and Stevens. So Fitzgerald at 6:08. My apologies there to the Fitzgerald family as well as McKenzie family there. Lead pass up ahead. Stopped there by the Whalers. Hawks still on the attack. Slapper from well out, shot by Healy. misses the net. Healy knocks down that pass. Stevens holds him up there. But Healy once again making life difficult here for the Whalers. 7:34 left to go. And now here they are on the attack again, the Whalers. Fitzgerald with the shot and the stop by Daw. A little bit of a bump there between a couple of players. And a Whaler player looking to get his nose dirty, Roswell. Little bee in his bonnet here in this game. Go off for a change here. 7:26 left to go. Face-off won here by the Whalers. Whalers after a slow start now. First lead of the game. That's offside there. 7:15 left to go in the second. Teams are going to keep the same players out there on the ice. No line changes. Antonio will take the draw here for the Hawks. And offside again. 7:11 left to go. So redo pretty well of the previous draw. McKenzie and Antonio. 7:07 left to go. Dumped in there by Healy. Had a pretty good shift here so far as Healy. Actually, it was Stuart Alexander that came up with the puck there and dumped it in for Halifax. My apologies. 6:50 left to go. Hawks there. Backhanded by Hopkins. They get it to the line, not out, but now they do. The Whalers do, and dump back in there by Alexander. And Redmond first back there for the Whalers. Has a little bit of open ice. Sends it down the ice. I don't know if the pass was for anybody in particular. And it just has enough gas to get over the icing line for the icing call with 6:25 left to go in the second period, 3-2. But now both teams will make changes here. Webb to take the draw here for the Whalers against Hopkins. Hopkins wins it. For the Hawks, Stevens now allowed to come towards the middle, wrist shot, and steered aside there by Daw as he makes the save. 6:09 left to go. Centering pass there. Nice little move there by Roswell. And a wrist shot there that's sent wide of the net. Centering there, Daw knocks it away. One hands it there of the big paddle. And now the Hawks in transition now. Delahunt unable to get a shot. Coolin sends it back, but nobody's there along the blue line, so it comes back out to center ice. Chassis now. Coolin trying to set up Alexander, and they're unable to click on that one. Coolin makes a couple of nice moves in the blue ice. Couple of dangles there by Delahunt, and unable to get it by the goaltender Poulet. Whalers just trying to get some relief there. They'll just send it down the ice. Stevens is up there, trying to knock it down. Here's Delahunt again. Good shift for him. Delahunt drives. Now he'll get to Alexander here along the near side boards. Back to the point here. Melnick. Cross ice, and now they'll swing it around. Pass a little bit too far there for Coolin. Alexander pokes it there. They try to wrap around. Comes out front. It's in the blue ice. And luckily for Poulin, his pad was at the right spot. And it kept it along the line and kept it out there for the Whalers. 4:43 left. Wrist shot there. Almost tried to be triggered. Unsuccessful there for Webb. Coolin. Saucer pass. Alexander gloves it down. Ran out of room before he could get a shot on goal. Puck's out front, but the Whalers will break out with it. Fitzgerald, who's got the go-ahead goal so far. Lead pass up to Webb. Nice little drop pass there to Alexander from Healy. Alexander tries to feather it through. It's knocked down by some sticks. Whalers chance to clear and do. Here's a foot race, but Daw will come out. Not afraid to play the puck as he plays it off the boards and back down. And on the attack here, Healy again. Healy has Metzler with him there on the doorstep. So set it back. Shot there by O'Connor. Hits legs, and now the Whalers get back out to center ice area and no further. And on the attack, Graves there. And that shot doesn't get through. Roswell trying to clear here for the Whalers. And now here it is again. McKenzie now on a breakaway. McKenzie scores! Make it 4-2. 2 straight there by the Hawks, followed by 4 by the Whalers. 3:32 left to go here in this second period. So after coming out and getting a really good start here for the Hawks, 4 straight by the Whalers, all of a sudden the Hawks are on their heels again. And speaking on their heels, just barely holding on to that is Daw, and he had his glove in behind, making sure it didn't squeeze by. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the second period. Last game of the day here, of the Day of Champions here in Truro, Nova Scotia, at the Community Credit Union Arena. Wrist shot, that's stopped. McKenzie with the goal. Isaac Pelly-Compton with an assist. Soon Ritchie is 18. There's another chance here for Alexander. Stuart Alexander. Once again, the Hawks pressing here, and it's covered up there by Poulin. 11:28 the time there for McKenzie. So Stevens, Walsh, Fitzgerald, McKenzie for the Whalers. Coolin and Graves for Halifax. 4-2, 2:45 left to go. So if Del Hunt, Coolin, and Alexander have some scoring punch here, as well as Alexander O'Connor's, time to show it now. They're down by 2. Deflects there from a 55-footer off the stick out front of the net. Campbell Cousins there for Halifax. And they'll try to drop it back here. Once again, Campbell Cousins. Some of the Halifax players are going towards for a change. So Stuart Alexander will stay on here while they're on the attack here for the Hawks. Trying to spin away. There's Pekoski. Sends it to an open wing. First there. Smith there for the Whalers. Stevens out there for the Whalers as well. Now it's a 2-on-1. Smith and Stevens. Smith! And that's stopped by Daw. Daw was pretty cool with that one. He just held his ground. Slapper there, wide of the net. Minute 47 left. Ritchie for the Whalers had a chance to clear it. Here's Aaron Alexander now. Goes cross ice, but it actually hits the shin guard of a Whaler player. He'll get a second chance, and the shot doesn't get through as it's blocked there by Walsh. One hand on a stick up to Stevens there with 1:20 left to go. There's a slapper there by Stevens. He got all of that one as he was allowed to wheel, had some open ice from well out. 1:10 left. Smith, Michael Smith, comes up with the puck there for the Whalers. Takes a bump there from Parkhill. And here it is, Delahunt there with 1 minute to go left here in the second period. Nice little move there by Brandon Ritchie. Ritchie. And a pad save and a second chance. There, Smith was right there. A big, juicy rebound on the doorstep. 45 seconds left to go. The Hawks break out, but it's picked off. Stolen by Webb. Goes back into his own zone. Up to Fitzgerald, one of the 4 goal scorers here for the Whalers. Dumps it in. Whalers make changes here. 30 seconds left to go, so the Hawks may have one little gasp here in this period, but they turn it over just outside their own blue line. Now they'll get a chance here. 2-on-2 the other way. Now a 2-on-1. Oh my, offside the call. 17.6, an odd man rush for the Hawks. There'll be some upset talking about that one at the intermission. 17.6 ticks left to go. And that type of night for the Hawks is one of the players was coming out there. Alexander lost foul before he can get to the circle. So they'll re-drop it here. 16 ticks exactly left to go here in the second period. Whalers just happy to send it down the ice, and 11.7 left. 4-2 game here. Hawks and Whalers. Minor junior provincial championship up for grabs. Hardware is in the building. And right now it looked like that Halifax is on their way to winning it here as the Whalers win the faceoff. 4.7 seconds left. Shot from well out. Daw stops and then plays it towards the back of the net as the horn goes to end this second period. So Cool and Graves in the first. Stevens, Walsh, Fitzgerald, McKenzie here in the second. Whalers lead 4-2 after 30 minutes of play here at the Minor Junior Provincial Championship here on Bell 5 TV1. We're stepping away for a break, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes here with the third period of this one. You're watching Bell 5 TV1's online coverage of the Hockey Nova Scotia Day of Champions. Final 15 minutes of the day here, day number 1 of the Day of Champions here from Truro, Nova Scotia. Community Credit Union Arena. Minor Junior Provincial Championship up for grabs between the Halifax Hawks and the Dartmouth Whalers. Whalers leading 4-2. My name is Dan Hobson. Cameraman and our producer Neil Gordon. Bell 5 TV1 broadcasting this one here. Coolin and Graves, goal scorers for Halifax. It came in the first period, 4 straight for the Whalers in the second. So here it is, the third period, up for grabs. And also up for grabs, the Minor Junior Provincial Championship and the banner. And right now, Hawks have something to say about the Whalers taking that back to Dartmouth with them. Roswell now with a burst of speed. Wrist shot, Daw handcuffs him, but it's okay. As he get enough of it there and kept it out. 26 seconds gone and play stop as it's blown down. Face-off will be in the Whaler zone. 26 ticks gone. Daw's been a little bit shaky there between the pipes here for the Hawks. There's times when he looks good, and then all of a sudden a routine save gives him a little bit of difficulty, just like that wrist shot there. That slides the blue ice as the Hawks here pressing once again. Butterfly style for Poulin as he's down in behind. Down. Hawks are in behind the net. And Coolin trying to come up with the puck there for the Hawks and can't. McKenzie sweeps that away and down for the Whalers. Whalers would be just happy here to try to kill this clock here. They don't want to be really too much on their heels. A lot of firepower here on this Halifax team. Healy with a wrist shot that's high. Hear the bang of the glass as it hit it. 13:54 left to go here in the third period. Hawks pressing. O'Connor with wrist shot and hits a leg. Coolin picks the pocket. O'Connor follows up. Alexander. Centering pass there from O'Connor. And the Whalers defend that well and send it down. 13:26 to go. Tipped in by O'Connor. Poulin settles it down. Hawks pressing again. Now they'll change some of the defensemen here, so blue lines are vacated here for the meantime for the Whalers. Whalers get the puck and find the opening, and it rolls all the way down there. No icing the call as play continues on as we come up to the 2-minute mark here. Minor Junior Provincial Championship. Third period. Aaron Alexander. Pocket picked. Pass really not going to anybody in particular. Alexander now try to get a pass up the center there to Metzler. Whalers go back in their own zone a little bit too far. Here's Redmond now. And I'll get it to the blue line, the center ice. Saucer pass there, tried to be knocked down by Webb and couldn't. The play, get it off the boards, get a shot, and it gets towards the net. And it's takes a funny bounce there, comes out front. Hawks were trying to clear. Walsh. He's got one of the 4 goals here for the Whalers. Pekoski. And sent out the center ice area. Loose puck up for grabs. And going back forward in his own zone is Noah Hopkins. And now he'll turn on the Jets. Noah Hopkins now coming down his opposite wing. Oh, he's allowed to walk in, goes wide, gets a shot, and Poulin makes the stop. He was going around looking for it, still looking for it, and it's behind him, but not in the net. Yeah, it was tucked right close to the post there. Centering pass as they tried to set up Parkhill right in front. 11:42 left to go. Hopkins. Hawks pressing here. They're getting close. Metzler. That's a pad stop by Poulin. And it will be Webb to come up with the puck here for the Whalers. The lead pass. Fitzgerald. Can't handle it. Stolen there by the Hawks. And dumped back in, but quickly the Whalers will send it right back down the ice. No ice in the call. Melnick in his own zone here for the Hawks. Referee's letting them play here. Long lead pass up ahead. Campbell Cousins now. But a penalty is coming up as it's touched by the Whalers, so as soon as I say it, I'm jinxed. The body contact. 3 seconds shy of the 4-minute mark. the time of that one, and going off is Redmond. So here are the Hawks here, and they had a pretty good shifts here in this third period, carrying the play right now. A 2-minute penalty there to the Whalers here for body contact. There's a shot there. It doesn't get through. It's rattling around. Whalers will find the opening, send it right down, and Daw will settle it there. Chassis with the puck. Lead pass up ahead. Alexander. Stuart Alexander now. Gets to the face-off circle. Poked over by Pelly Compton. Antonio up there looking for the puck. Redmond. Body contact is the call, as I mentioned. 1:25 left to go. Ritchie. Wrist shot. Oh, he's aiming for the top corner. Didn't miss by much. 10:20 left to go. Minute 15 left. And the penalty to Redmond. Puck up for grabs. And it's going to be Ritchie that comes up with it once again. Having some good penalty killing here are the Whalers. And it's stopped there by Stevens, and he'll slap it down the ice, and he'll put a little bit too much on that, and it almost allowed Chassis to break out there near his own blue line. 9:50 left to go in the period. 45 seconds left in the Redmond body contact penalty. Stevens winding up again. Turning on the Jets, just gets it outside the line. Now he'll go off for a change. Aaron Alexander. Oh, makes a nice move, and he couldn't get a shot as he lost the handle. Hawks pressing once again, playing tic-tac-toe, but they're unable to get it by Poulin that time. Back to the point. Healy now. Goes cross ice. Shot, scores! Sharp angle. Must have been a screen there, but the Hawks now make it 4-3. They do a little bit of a scoring celebration. It almost looks like a football one where everybody does like a little dance sort of thing. And a cross ice pass and one-timer beats Poulin. So it is 4-3, so better hard-working period here for the Hawks. Slappers, Daw stops. O'Connor gets the goal. The Whalers press it, shot! And it's going to be waved off because the net is off its moorings. 5:24 the time. And a little bit too excessive in the celebration was McKenzie, and he's going to be sent off here for a 10, I think, or just unsportsmanlike. No goal as the net was off its moorings. And it is a 10-minute misconduct there for McKenzie. Actually, they're just going to give him a 2, so it's kind of really unsportsmanlike conduct, so not a so lucky there for him. He wasn't too happy about the net being off its pegs. Now his teammates will have to bail him out here, try to kill this penalty here. Hawks on their last power play struck gold. Hawks maybe hoping they can right now. 8:25 left to go. Shot! And a goal post there by Webb. He thought he scored, but he hit iron. You could hear it ting here in the building. Close call. How did Webb get that puck so close? Hawks just pretty well giving it away there in their own zone, and it almost cost them 4-3 the score. 35-23 the shots in favor of the Whalers over the Hawks. Antonio, lead pass there was behind Campbell Cousins. He'll have to go in and spin around. Actually, it was Stuart Alexander, my apologies. 8 minutes left to go here in the third period. A backhander that goes high. Whaler player lost his stick. He recovers it. And now the Whalers have a chance to clear and break out. Here's Webb. He hit that post. Walsh got a goal. Walsh going in. Backhand! And that's stopped by Daw. He basically didn't have a lot of room to maneuver because he was pretty well backed up against the goal line there. He didn't dare move because if he did, it might have squeezed through and passed the line for goal number 5 here for the Whalers, but not to be. 4-3 the score here. Ritchie to take the draw here for the Whalers. He'll win it easily back to Fahey. Fahey sends it to an open corner, and that gets by everybody. And back the Whalers come here. Penalty coming up here, and the Whalers are starting to maybe dig themselves into a hole. There's 40 seconds left in the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and now another Whaler penalty coming up, so 2-man advantage here as Redmond's going off. So 2-man advantage for 40 seconds here for the Hawks. This has been the Hawks period. They came in trailing. They have one power play goal, and now they have a 2-man advantage, and the play and the ice has been tilted to one side of the sheet here so far. Alexander. Shot that doesn't get through. Now he'll follow up there, come up with his own rebound. Allowed to dangle for all kinds of time there. Alexander hits a stick and will come back out, so the Hawks will regroup. Lead pass, a little bit of a collision there. Stevens and them, and play is blown down, and a lot of unhappy players right now. Stevens thinks it's interference, and they're going to take some time off the clock as the clock has difficulty starting here, so they're going to wind it down here. Down to 7:06, so 21 seconds left, and the penalty here to McKenzie, and 1:41 left here to Redmond. So as a result, of course, as the clock not stopping, they'll bring it to center ice here. Stevens on the draw here for the Whalers, can't win it. As the Hawks, Delahunt wins it. Adam Alexander goes on the Jets once again. Here for the Halifax Hawks. 6:55 left to go here in the period. 8 seconds left in the McKenzie penalty. And it's sent back down the ice by the Whalers. So that will put the kibosh to the McKenzie unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. 1:15 left in the Redmond penalty. So it's a 5 skaters versus 4 skaters right now, and the 4 will send it back down the ice here. The 2-man advantage down by the wayside. Puck got caught up in the equipment there of the Halifax Hawk player, which was cooling. Now it'll go towards the net. Drop pass, O'Connor. And now Delahunt goes cross ice. Bouncing puck there, unable to settle down was Adam Alexander. And it gets by the point and sent down the ice again. 40 seconds left. And the penalty to Redmond. One final chance here. Lead pass up ahead. Delahunt with some room. Unable to pull the trigger. He had a chance to get a good shot. Adam Alexander a shot. And that's stopped by Poulin. He wasn't sure where it was, but he decided to go right down and got as small as possible. Hawks players pointing out saying it's in. The referee says, well, I'm right there. I don't see it. So it remains a 4-3 game with 5:49 left to go. 24 seconds left to go in the Redmond penalty. Adam Alexander may not get a chance to get his 3 goals, but his shout-outs, one of his dad who's watching online, also to Mindy B and Sarah B. So those are some of the people that he wanted to give a shout-out to during the broadcast, and he had them all separate there for goals, and maybe run out of time, so I wanted to make sure I got their names out there. So 5:34 left to go. Of course, that may come back and bite me if he ends up coming and scoring a goal, but just on the odd case that maybe don't get a chance to do it, we just wanted to get those names out there. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Day of Champions, day number 1 here. winding down. A minor junior provincial championship banner and trophy up for grabs. 5:07 left to go. Poked there by Webb, and he'll go in after it. But Pekoski first back for the Hawks. Slaps it hard around. Here's Metzler now. Nice stick there by Walsh. Basically picking his pocket, steer towards the corner. Wheeler's just happy to send it down. Too many men on the ice here for the Hawks, and 4:46 left to go. A costly penalty that is for them. A bad change. So they're down by 1, and now they have to kill a penalty here. Time not on their side, and this will not help them there. Serving the too many men penalty will be Alex Graves. So, of course, we talked about Nick Daw. Logan Elliott is a third-year history major at St. Mary's University, the backup goaltender. Noah Hopkins, the grade 12 Halifax High School student. Nolan Healy studying business at Mount St. Vincent University, aiming to be a CPA. Logan Melnick completing a Bachelor of Science at Mount St. Vincent University. Mark Chassie, as this puck goes down the ice, 4:30 left to go. Team Nova Scotia snowboard member for 4 years. Pekoski played hockey since she touched the ice. Last team was competitive midget AA. Currently attending NSCC studying electrical technician. O'Connor studying business at Mount St. Vincent University, number 19. And Potty is a graduate of Citadel High, currently a background actor. Coolin, who's had a pretty good game here, joined the Center of Ocean Ventures and Entrepreneurship team last spring as an information system analyst as it's sent back out to center ice area. 1:07 left in the bench penalty for too many men here to the Hawks. 4-3 to score. Fitzgerald. Also Park Hill, number 4, studying construction management technology at the Nova Scotia Community College there for the Halifax Hawks. The Alexanders, Aaron and Stewart, as this stopped by Daw, have played their hockey at the Bedford Minor Hockey. Della Hunt graduated from Memorial University in 2017 with a Bachelor of Commerce, number 8, and Metzler, fourth-year student at St. Mary's University, due to graduate in May. 3:26 left to go, 39 seconds left in the penalty. Graves, currently working for the Superstore Customer Service while deciding to complete secondary school or join the Canadian military. Sam Joseph, Halifax Hawks since he was skating. And back we come now. Here are the Whalers, 20 seconds away here from killing this off. A shot from well out by Redmond is stopped with 3:01 left to go. To finish up on some of the backgrounds here. Campbell Cousins studying mathematics, Mount St. Vincent University. G-Com Antonio. Of course, the family's been involved with the Hawks there, and Potty, of course, coaching the Halifax Hawks for 11 years. And Melnick, a recreational hockey player for the Halifax Hawks. And Alex Melnick is member of the Halifax Hawks Board of Directors for over 30 years. As the penalty comes to an end, the play is stopped, so getting a chance to know some of these combatants here. On a Friday night here from Truro, 2:42 away here from this one being done, and our day one being done. Karen McEachran will be back here tomorrow morning here with more coverage here of the Day of Champions. And I'll be back for the 2:30 and 4:30 game to wrap up day number 2. 2:27 left to go here in a 4-3 game. So we're in for a dandy of a finish here from Truro Community Credit Union Arena. 2:16 left to go. Coolin unable to get something going offensively there for the Hawks. Back to go in their own zone. Hopkins now taking his time. Long lead pass up ahead. They tried to hit Delahunt. Whalers all back, and they snuffed that one out. Under 2 to go. Delahunt gets a piece of it, but back there's Fahey for the Whalers. Finds the opening, sends it down. Webb couldn't get it down and get something going in transition for the Whalers, but here comes Redman. Redman puts it towards the net, and Daw stops that. Left a little bit of a juicy rebound. Seeing some trash talking here, so a timeout being called here by the Halifax Hawks. With 99 seconds left to go in the period. So the Hawks have some thinking to do here. It's so much easier, of course, to have to pull a goaltender after a timeout. We've seen that a lot here throughout the day, as opposed to wait for a draw and see what goes on. Of course, draws in their own zone. That's the one thing. So they're going to have to set up something here, try to win a draw, and try to get Daw on and off, and get that extra attacker on here with 1:39 left. And now they have a chance. Here's an outlet pass, stretch pass. They're trying to get things going. And that's offside, and Cullen questioning it. Starting to get vocal and temper starting to flare. And unfortunately there for the Hawks, Daw was close to the bench, but as a result of the stoppage, now he'll have to come and sit there by the hash marks there momentarily, see what happens and develops here. O'Connor now gets in. Daw takes off. He's to the bench. The extra attacker's on with 1:20 left. Here is Webb now. Has a chance here to ice it there. Goes over to Stevens. And a nice little defensive play there by Alexander. And now he'll hit it up. Ice here. Spin away. Trying to get away from Webb. Turn it on the Jets. Lead pass. Healy. 1 minute left to go here in the period. Bouncing puck there as the Hawks having a hard time settle it down. Spinning it is Cullen. It will be Pelly Compton, and he'll get it out. But it will not have enough gas for icing, so linesmen wave it off. Play continues on, 41 seconds left to go. Rink-wide pass, Delahunt gets it in. Alexander following up, Whalers whack away at it. And will this have enough for icing? No, it's waved off, and it just rolls shy of the net by about a foot. 24 seconds left to go. There's a chance here to ice it there for McKenzie. He can't get much of a twig on that one. 17 seconds left to go. One final chance here. Healy, center ice. Slapper from well out is wide. 9 seconds left. O'Connor, Whalers starting to sense it. 5 seconds left, and they're going to run out of time. Here's a wrister that's wide of the net. The minor junior champions here on Hockey Nova Scotia's Day of Champions. The final game of the day goes to the Dartmouth Whalers. They trailed by 2 at one time and got 4 straight goals. Only O'Connor got a goal here in the third period for the Hawks to get close, but that's as close as they got. 4-3 is the final here in this one. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in all day here to Bell 5 TV1's coverage of the Hockey Nova Scotia Day of Champions. So, for our entire crew, we're signing off for the day. So long here from Truro. My name's Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching Bell 5 TV1's coverage of the 2018 Hockey Nova Scotia Day of Champions.